I have not watched it yet. I haven't watched it yet. But this faux fight that Hassan and Vaush are having is kind of fun. It's entertaining. It's fun. And so Vaush just put up a response video. Let's take a look at it. Let's say I don't know if I'm going to cover the whole thing, but I have not watched it yet. Let's go.
A tragedy that I was alerted to, a betrayal of unprecedented proportions when I saw this tweet. If you can believe it, Hassan called Vaush a liberal and said Vaush is to the right of him. LMAO. I know what you're thinking. Surely they jest. I've got bad news for you. I actually have no idea whether or not they jest because I haven't seen the video clip. I haven't seen it. I tweeted about it as though I had.
I covered this last night. Covered this last night. Yeah, Vosh. I mean, I'm not saying you're conservative or anything like that. I'm just saying that that Hassan really is further to the left than you are. That's not saying that you are too like that you're right leaning or anything. It's just that he is further left than you. That's a fact. Let's go.
Seen it, but I haven't actually seen it. You know, this is me being consistent on Twitter. Okay, I never read the article or watch the clip before tweeting about it. So let's find out together. Okay. So the streams.
Wait, wait,
This
wait.
is where disinformation.
By the way, the timing on all these guys' videos, I don't know if I just like am really sort of dialed into what's happening in like progressive politics and like my timing happens to be really good, or if they're actually seeing what I'm doing too and kind of like I don't know. It's entirely possible, but I don't know. I don't know. But my timing seems to really line up with their timing. Like it seems like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
And comes to die. Let's find out together whether or not noted liberal Azan is dragging me down into the dirt with him. Let's go.
Breaking news, trigger warning, small brain pro-CIA Vaush advocates for the torture of Julian Assange in a sad attempt to hurt those who support him. Wait, what? Is Vaush an advocate for the CIA?
The top of the hour ad break.
No, right? I feel like I can't bring up Vaush on the stream without people who fucking absolutely stan him saying that's not true and not really giving me true information or not. But then more importantly, people who fucking hate him and despise him being like, yeah, he does love the CIA. All the bread to...
Actually, this is inaccurate. People who like me and people who dislike me will both say that I support the CIA. That's the thing that makes my fan community special, okay? There's actually no way to tell the difference between people who like me or dislike me online because they say the exact same thing, just...
Oh gosh, I mean, like you know what? That's kind of a better like conspiracy theory than what they do to me. They call me a DNC plant. They call me a DNC plant who blows up progressive campaigns. That's what I get. That's what I fucking get.
with varying degrees of deliberate irony.
You CIA and actually support populists to push against fascist leftists on the internet. You are a tool of the State Department to stop Tucker Carlson from bringing about socialism with American characteristics.
Probably.
Yeah.
There we go.
He did the same bit you just did? Oh, really? What is it? Don't know much, but the tankies are 100% sure he is for some reason.
Aw.
Okay, Vaush is not fucking CIA, okay? He's just call him a liberal. That's what, isn't that what the normal term was? Just like we used to call everybody liberals. And now we're just like fucking saying CIA was for,
It's hilarious that Vaush did exactly the same thing that I did last night. I literally covered this video last night, and now Vaush is covering it. But I mean, okay, well, Vaush was the subject of the video, so that makes sense, right? That makes sense.
some of the fucking MLs, the ultra tankies on the internet straight up sound like the fucking meme of being like,
I think this is actually true. I think it used to be that the tankies and like the people aligned with them would just say like liberal at everyone, but liberal doesn't hit as hard as it used to. So now they've gone up to like federal agent, CIA stuff, because the left has always made jokes about people in their midst being like feds or whatever, because I think a lot of radical groups do that. I mean, the Nazis do it, so that's always been kind of funny. But I think that the discourse has shifted. I mean, I think we have a debate with this guy coming up in like 3 days or something, but there were people on Twitter who literally thought that I was an informant for the feds because I said I was an informant in Antifa, like all of us have been. Or something like I think more people are taking the line quite a bit further than they used to be. Be prepared for his gray zone day.
Well, it's horseshoe theory, Vaush. It's horseshoe theory. So basically, there are. If I was to sum this up, I would say that it's your alt-right libertarians and your extreme Green Party people. They intersect with their fear of government and the fact that they're just like constantly, they're afraid of everybody, right? Like everybody's a problem. Everybody is lying to you. Everybody is presenting a false image of themselves. That's where it comes from. And, I've heard so many stories, Vaush, at this point, from local organizers who had to prove themselves. They literally had resumes of being organizers with like DFA and isn't that what? It was OFA, right? They have worked on campaigns for years and years, and they still had to like prove that they weren't plants, because this is a very common smear campaign thing that these folks like to circulate. And it comes out of people like the Convo Couch, and it comes out of people like Lauren Steiner, and it comes out of people like Karen Burdell, and just this whole weird ass network of people that have been surrounding progressive politics and trying to lead the movement, trying to be the leaders of the movement, assert themselves as leaders, but they don't ever fucking show up to anything.
I don't think that Hasan is a tanky or whatever. I do think that Hasan does definitely lean into the like America bad, therefore like my foreign policy takes are motivated first and foremost by a dislike of America, and second.
That's a fair assessment, Vaush. That's a fair assessment. I will, though, completely admit that Hasan is to the left of me. He is to the left of me. But I think that there is a point where some of these folks on the left go too far and are just constantly bashing America, and it just becomes pointless. It becomes pointless.
By a sort of general understanding of the geopolitical situation given area. I disagree with his shit on Taiwan. I don't know what his takes are on the Ukraine situation, but I don't think he's like a tanky. Like I don't think it's part of some like malicious or like hyper stupid effort to promote other geopolitical interests. I think it's just about the aesthetics of revolutionary politics. You know what I mean? Because when it comes to that sort of thing, like being anti-American is like the biggest part of that whole aesthetic. What's the Taiwan take? I think he doesn't do like Chinese Taipei shit, right? He says like he recognizes Taiwan is an autonomous country, but I think he doesn't think that America should like intervene, right? Or shouldn't respect like their defense or whatever. What do you mean informant for Antifa? Does that mean you worked with or against Antifa? I was a quadruple agent, actually. I signed up with the feds. They planted me in Antifa. I sided with Antifa after I got honeypotted with some they-them pussy. And then I started working against the feds. But then the feds, they...
Oh my God, Vaush, they-them pussy. By the way, it was something like... I think it was like 3 years ago. There was an organized event in Huntington Beach, and I ended up skipping it because somebody from Antifa, like whatever Antifa is, like I don't even know what Antifa is, but somebody went onto the event page and alerted like the Nazis in the neighborhood that this was going on. And I had written like a comment like, oh, okay, I'm going to be there. And they fucking screenshotted my comment and put it in Nazi groups. So I ended up having to, I had to back out. I couldn't go because like I was seriously concerned for my security at that point. And what did end up happening, because I did watch it, I watched it happen. We had a city council candidate whose name is escaping right now. She did when we did Pride Santa Ana, and she was giving hugs out. Moms for Hugs, right? Like I was helping her with that. Shayna Lathis. Okay, she ran for Huntington Beach City Council. She did go to the event. And what ended up happening is they took pictures of her standing a little bit too close to Antifa people, and they fucking like removed her appointment. She had an appointment on city council, like she was in a subcommittee or something. They freaking removed her because she was standing too close to Antifa people. Okay, anyway. Shayna. She's pretty cool, y'all. We did hugs. We gave out hugs at the Santa Ana Pride. Because, you know, we're mommies. We're mommies.
They hit me with he, him, pussy. I don't know. And anyway, so back against the Antifa. Okay. And that's where we are right now. No, the thussy, yeah, but the hussy, I think, here. Powerful stuff. Hussy? Yeah,
is that
really.
A word?
It's been a while since I've had some shussy, to be honest with you. All right.
My mom is CIA. She won't let me play with my prop gun and pose in front of the USSR flag. My mom is actually CIA now.
True.
Vaush is 100% more left than you. Yeah, dude.
Love you,
sure.
ass.
Your left-right dichotomy, I think, is a little flawed if you think that. Maybe on like some social stuff, maybe or like sexuality, gender stuff.
Okay, Vaush, what do you got?
Well, you know, we've got that at least. He's gayer than me, you know.
Potentially, but even then, I don't know. But
Grussy.
I am. Listen, motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a shit what you have to fucking say. But as far as anti-imperialism being a core value of mine, there are not that many people that are further to the left than me, okay? The only people further to the left than me, supposedly, on their own, the only people that claim to be further to the left than me, as far as like their anti-imperialist rhetoric goes,
it'd be like the gray zone types, right? They would be the ones who do it harder.
Are psychos, okay?
Oh, wait, you can't do that. You can't literally do the... I'm this far left, and anyone more to the left of me is psychos, and anyone less to the left of me is...
Oh, sure he can. Yes, he can, Vaush. Absolutely he can, because he's right. He is probably one of the furthest left before you get into Crazy Town. Let's be real.
This liberals.
Like actual psychos. I think you associate him two things you hate, debate bros and anarchists, but he's cool. First of all,
I mean, we're talking about me, man.
No, I appreciate Vaush's existence because all the debate bros stay there and don't come into my community, or at least know that or at least they know that they can get their debate lord shit out there and not on this stream. So I love that. That's great.
I do have to wonder though, how much of when he says debate lord is like it's just destiny, right? I mean, that's what he's saying, really. I don't think my community is that debate brained. You know what I mean? I think that generally you guys are fairly well prepared.
It's possible that Michael Richards might actually be further to the left than Hasan. That's possible. I know, because I know Michael, All-American Socialist, he does a lot of discussion around Marxism and stuff. I don't know. You know, it's so nuanced. It's really like he might be. He might be slightly further to the left, and like the closest you can get to actually rational thinking, leftist thinking, before you get into Crazy Town territory, where the Brianna Greyjoys and the Jimmy Dores and like they're not even, let's be real, they're not even on the left. They play make believe. They play make believe, y'all.
Portioned. In that respect, you know, I think it's largely a sort of destiny holdover thing. To be clear, right, with the anti-imperialist stuff, I don't know what it really means, especially when you get really granular. You know, like the closer you are.
Well, okay, so I think you do, though. I think you actually do, because the extremists in this category believe that America should have absolutely no involvement with anything. And that has not historically been our role in the world. In the world, because we are the richest economy in the world, we have largely been relied on to help keep peace. Now, our idea of keeping peace isn't always very peaceful, right? But that is like the logic behind it, is that we're supposed to be keeping the war at bay through peaceful types of efforts. But our peaceful efforts are not always peaceful, right? Sometimes our peaceful efforts are actually dropping bombs on people. So the extremists are just like, okay, America, you should step the fuck out and let Russia take over. That's not realistic either, because Russia is very much motivated by a lot of the same things that America is, in the sense that they act like a bully too. And if we're acting like a bully and they're acting like a bully and everybody's dropping bombs and they're killing people, all right. I get so sick of like the Lauren Steiner crowd going out there and wholly defending Russia when they literally do the same bullshit America does. All right, let's go.
Politically, what it means to be more left than a person. I don't know what that means exactly. With the anti-imperialist stuff, I mean, I guess it really depends on how like effective your ideas are. Because there are people like, what's the most left-leaning anti-imperialist take? Is it just like nuking America? I mean, what's the most? I would think the most anti-imperialist thing that you could do would be trying to bring about a geopolitical situation which has the minimum amount of...
No, it's literally closing all of our bases and bringing all of our troops home and completely slashing our defense budget. That's what it is. That it's the end of any defense that we have. It is, closing all the bases and just getting the fuck out of everywhere. That is your anti-imperialist viewpoint.
Imperialism as quickly as possible, right? But if you, like, from my perspective, giving undue leeway to China would be a pro-imperialist take, just from a different perspective. When a lot of people say anti-imperialist, they really just mean anti-American imperialism and everything.
Oh yeah, totally. Like anybody who is like acting like China is somehow like getting bullied by America is hilarious, because they have thousands of years of history of doing imperialism. Thousands of years of, I mean, come on, you like the Mongols and shit. Come on.
Secondary consideration, so which is, yeah.
But as far as like anarchism or anarchy goes, I don't hate anarchists. What the fuck are you talking about? I have hella anarchists in this community as well.
Don't get banned again, please.
I just fucking purge homies regularly because they
I feel like at that moment, like whenever anarchy gets brought up, I really feel like I need Andrea to give me the explanation of anarchy again, because Andrea sort of rocked my world on like what it actually means. I need Andrea to redefine that for me, because like I totally, like I had, I was the kind of kid that grew up and it was like, oh, anarchy is just like all over the place and you're just running around and destroying things, and Andrea explained it as like a complete political system that actually kind of made sense, which is so, it was a bit, Andrea, it was a bit mind-blowing for me. And why hasn't Vaush had you on his show yet? Right? That was my criticism in the last video I did, where I covered Hasan having this like faux fight with Vaush, is that Vaush does need to kind of, get a little bit into the future in regards to certain, he perceived that criticism as being because he's gay. Vaush, I have gay relatives. Like I totally know people who are gay and still haven't evolved to the place of accepting transgender and other sexual identities and, sexual orientations. There are people who are like, well, this is my one situation, so I am comfortable with this one situation, but I'm unwilling to accept other people's situations. That is a thing. I literally have gay Trump-supporting relatives, okay? It's not so black and white on that. It like you can have. I feel like you misinterpreted Hassan on that point, and I think that there are areas where you need to become a little bit more sensitive. That's my 2 cents.
They fucking cry and they love to center themselves around the conversation.
I don't know what that means.
But that's it. Like, I still see use in outlets like the Gray Zone. So it's always funny when they write like dumbass articles like.
Well, that's dumb. That's fucking dumb. I should have mentioned this last night when I was covering it. There is no fucking use for the Gray Zone. That entire platform has been used to gaslight us for fucking years at this point. The fact that Bernie hired her in as the communications director was one of the biggest staffing mistakes he ever fucking made. That on top of hiring Ro Khanna and Fayez. We had actual fucking people in that campaign that destroyed the campaign. Let's be real.
This, you know what I mean? Like, the use I see in outlets like the Gray Zone is that.
What is use?
Let's be real. There isn't that much outside of the neoliberal box of acceptable thoughts when it comes to most avenues of mainstream media. So in a lot of circumstances, them having, you didn't even read it. I'm not even going to read it. It's fucking bullshit. Okay? Get the fuck out of here. Get the absolute fuck out of here, bro. You think I'm going to read that article? Are you crazy? They're doing anti-vaxxer, or sorry, they're targeting vaccinations and doing like anti-vaxxer psyop or whatever. That's so embarrassing.
Yeah, my friend who's struggling with COVID right now, that I just delivered some food, like enough, like 3 days worth of food so that he can get through this, texted me this morning and said that he can't drink enough water. That he feels constantly hydrated. His lips are dry. He cannot drink enough water to actually get through this. I gave him homemade turkey broth. I gave him emergency. I gave him like the vitamin infused water. It's a serious fucking disease. And yet you still have these dumb ass contrarians out there convincing people to kill themselves.
Anyway, the point is this, okay? I think that, sometimes they do decent work. And then other times they go fucking bananas. And that's one of those bananas ass articles. Ultimately, I don't really give a shit, I'm not going to spend a lot of time fucking shitting on them non-fucking stop.
There's something about the way Hassan talks that makes it literally impossible for me to judge whether or not he's finishing a point. Like, I have no way of telling.
Okay? Because, one, they're powerless.
Praying for me to win in fantasy football.
It's run-on sentences. I do the same bullshit, Vaush. It's like this is something that happens for those of us who have like a bit of ADHD going on. Like we go from one thought to the next in a constant transition where like we never end our sentences. This is a real thing.
And I have more important goals to go after, like watching Jubilee videos.
True. I feel like the real stuff here is the people in his chat complaining about me. I think it's like 50-50. Here we go. Vaush is an awful person I wouldn't associate. This isn't like Twitter cancel culture stuff. He's actually a sexual harasser, pro-imperialism, and a transphobe. This person's 16 years old. Comrade Cashew. Oh, wait, there was more there too. Hold on. And transphobia too. Oh, I think that's referring to the Gray Zone people. Vaush is still banned for C-slur, so be careful. Every time Hassan mentions Vaush gets a hard-on. He's too masked for me. Keep it in the fanfics, kids. Lol at that mustache. All right, good discourse there. I think, yeah. I feel like the geopolitical stuff would definitely be Hassan's biggest blind spot. There's massive VDS in Hassan's chat, though. There's massive VDS literally everywhere online that I don't control. And even in the places I do control, there is still... Have you seen my Reddit? I have literally infinite power over that Reddit, and in spite of that, it is still a festering hellhole. So that's just sort of the that's just sort of the state of the world. He did Uyghur Janile shit recently.
I don't really use Reddit. I don't use Reddit. I did back in I think it was like 2017 or something, right? Like I was using Reddit for a little bit of time. And WikiLeaks took notice of me. They wanted me to join the research team and shit. I still have the emails somewhere. They wanted me to join their research team, and I said no because I was like, I don't want the government coming after me. Like, I don't want to get involved. Like, I'll tell you what I've looked at, what I've analyzed in the public sphere, but no, I'm not. No. I don't want to get. Look, I'm just a small person, and I don't want to be involved in that.
I didn't see any of that. I really don't know that much about Hasan's political positions, you know. Most of what he does, at least everything that I've seen, is kind of like, do I misuse this word often? I misuse so many words. Let me just make sure I'm using this one correctly.
I do too, dude.
Yeah, okay, I think this is fine. Like, aphorisms. Like, a lot of it is leftist aphorisms, you know? Like, a lot of it is basically like Bernie Crat tier stuff alongside, you know, some very basic sort of
Aphorisms? Aphorisms? I'm gonna have to look that up, Vaush. Are you talking about like affirmations? Was that what you were really looking for? Oh, aphorisms? I'm gonna have to look this one up. I'm gonna look it up.
left-coded terminology, you know? So you hear stuff like power to the working people and, you know, like healthcare now or this, that, the other. But like it's all like slogan-based. I don't know how much I've heard him really dig into like, okay, well, how would a post-revolutionary system be organized? Or like what mechanisms would you use to bring about the best likelihood of this succeeding or that? I don't know. I don't know how much.
Well, okay, so I haven't watched a lot of his stuff either, but I think that when he sits down with his Uncle Cenk, he actually has some pretty good React commentary to, you know, it's funny because this, I guess, is like his uncle, right? And he is able to like school his uncle in a respectful way, like a family way, right? Like he's educating Cenk. He's educating Cenk when this happens. But I think that he has shown that he does have the political knowledge, but he doesn't always get serious because a lot of his persona is being the bro dude, right? Like he very much has the kind of this is something that a lot of political people do. Like, okay, so we have a couple of comedians in Orange County who went around and were trying to offer up masks, and they were doing funny videos of like dealing with anti-maskers in Orange County. They ended up getting voted as two of the most influential people in Orange County, I think last year, right? By the Orange County Register. They do the I'm a stupid surfer bro shtick, but these guys are smart. They're smart, and they have been going all over the county doing this, and they're so witty because they are smart, but at the same time, they're from Orange County, so they know how to do the surfer bro stuff. I believe that that's what Hasan does as well, that he's trying to make himself look like a stupid gamer at the same time as being able to drop all of this political knowledge. Whereas Vaush, you're far more straightforward in the fact that, look, I like politics, I want to talk about it, and I have some strong opinions. Vaush is a bit more straightforward. Hasan does the I'm a bro dude. He does do it, but then drops like a ton of political knowledge while he's doing it.
Yeah, I don't know about like the specificity, but in terms of the foreign policy stuff, that's if there was ever anything I wanted to. Well, realistically, you know, I if I ever did talk to Hasan, it would basically just be me, you know, trying to farm.
Are you kidding me? You guys haven't picked up the phone yet, for fuck's sake. Y'all should just call each other. You literally are like doing back and forth videos. You haven't picked up the phone yet. Give me a break.
Subs from his audience, you know what I mean? I'd do like a little dance and stuff. But assuming we had a real conversation, which would be nice, the geopolitics stuff would be the main thing that I'm kind of curious about. You know, like how much he's thought about it, I guess. He'd agree on most things. He'd be boring.
Well, obviously, you both think about it all the time because you're constantly doing videos talking about each other.
I wonder about the geopolitics stuff. I don't really know. Yeah, I genuinely don't know. I feel like we would probably agree on the long-term abstract sort of end state things, but we would probably disagree significantly on a few things. One of the largest ones being the potential threat posed by non-American geopolitical interests, you know.
By the way, I reached out to both of you. I asked both of you to do an interview with me about your ban, and neither of you got back to me. And then Vaush, you actually like put out a video saying, "Hey, my email is public. It's public information." I literally looked at all of your platforms. I don't see your fucking email anywhere. I don't see your email anywhere. I would love to talk to both of you about the ban. Talk to you about the idea of, you know, which swear words are acceptable for humor and comedy versus which ones are too far and go across the hate line. I'd love to have this conversation with you, but I don't know, dude. I don't know. Okay, we're almost done with the video. I am covering the whole fucking thing. I'm covering the whole thing, y'all.
And what should be done about it? But apart from that, yeah, it should be fine. I've never been a big fan. He agrees. Okay, well, I don't know. I don't watch Hasan. The only long form Hasan content I have ever watched was his playthrough of Subnautica, which was great. I've got no complaints. It was good content. I like Subnautica.
Go watch him eat the Norwegian fish. Or I think it was Norway. I don't. Go watch him eat that just makes him so stereotypically YouTuber when he does that video. It's like it's so bad. It's so bad.
He was afraid of fish. It works, you know. Not nearly as himbo as you think he is. He just doesn't talk about theory as much. I don't talk about theory that much. It's not about being a himbo or not, you know. It's about the mechanisms by which you. It's something that I've taken issue with. I think with a lot of people in the online left, you know, in that the distinction between propagandizing and like real informative, substantive political messaging is really blurry. There's always going to be an element of propagandizing in any kind of political messaging, but you know, I think you should try to inform people, give them a holistic view that you could walk away from with like a really cohesive understanding of stuff. And I try to do that here. Obviously, I don't always succeed, but you know, we try. You see. Hasan kind of runs the gambit of leftist thought. He hypes up Nordic social democracy constantly, but then also talks about full public ownership. Yeah, like, again, a bit aphoristic. You understand, right? Not a big deal.
Okay, all right. So that's it. By the way, that picture that was down below, because, you know, I always do this on my mobile phone, my screen records. That looks like Billy Bob Thornton, didn't it? What was that? Okay, I'm not going to click on it, though. So there you go. That's my take on Vaush's response.